What's up, everyone? Welcome to Stay Philly Sports History for August 19th, 2024. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. Welcome to a Monday edition of the podcast, a first day of school podcast for me. Teachers come back, and I guess as an administrator, this is like the first day of school, which means summer hours are over and back to the grind. We had a good run, though. But that always means, too, that football season is right around the corner. Gearing up for Red October. Let's go. Be sure to follow me on social media, Jimbo_Mont on Twitter and TikTok, at Philly Jimbo on Instagram. Follow and subscribe to the YouTube channel at Jimbo_Mont. Spread the word, all of those other good things. And even if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or somewhere else, I guess Google Podcasts or YouTube Music, I guess it's called now, be sure to go over and hit subscribe on the YouTube channel. And because it is the beginning of the school year, as I mentioned last week, I will be heading up to Penn State later this afternoon. So I will be broadcasting Tuesday and Wednesday from the hotel room at Penn State. So don't be surprised if there's a different backdrop, but it's that time of the year. All right. Tough one for the Phillies yesterday, and a lot to unpack with this game. I guess first and foremost, Taijuan Walker was not horrible once again. He only gave up 3 earned runs, and really, the Phillies were in the game when he was taken out. Strom didn't pitch very well. Hoffman didn't pitch very well. It's starting to actually become more concerned now that they're hitting with the bullpen. But again, Taijuan was not that bad, and Mendoza Sosa was good. I love him. They need to find a way to get him somewhat more consistent playing time. Good things happen when he's in there. But the big story, I don't know why, and it's more like the more he tried to explain it, the worse it got. You're down 2 runs in the 9th. Sosa gets on base. You have 1 on, no out. So you have Stevenson and Stubbs bat while you have Bryce Harper and JT on the bench. Topper explained that it was because he wanted to give them a full day off. But, dude, you got to try. It's August. You got to try to win these games. And you have the entire day off today. So I'm not sure if there's more to it than that. It is concerning that he didn't go for them at all. I don't know. It just, to me, it doesn't make any sense. And that, especially when you're battling for one of the top 2 seeds so you can get that bye, to me, it just makes absolutely zero sense. And I did see late last night that, well, not late last night, but I noticed it later last night before I went to bed, that Steve Jeltz called in to WIP and was like, 1 at bat is not going to ruin your full day off. And that is true. And as far as I'm concerned, you have the entire day off. You cannot be just punting on games here in August. I don't know, though. A lot of people are concerned about that. And not going to lie, so am I. To me, it just makes no sense. No sense whatsoever. I don't know why you would punt on a game like that, especially when it's there to at least have a chance. Instead, you have the chopper into the double play and then Stubbs. I don't know. I mean, it was a successful homestand, 4 of 6. Kind of got their mojo back, so to speak. But a rough road trip coming up, 3 in Atlanta, 3 in Kansas City. And this is going to be huge. I think if they can go and take 2 of 3 from the Braves, that will go a long way in sort of, I think, at least for me, it'll go a long way in calming some of my worries about this team. If they go down there and lay an egg in Atlanta, though, but my radar is, I'm super, super concerned. So, big 3-game series coming up this week, and then the weekend series out in Kansas City, which it's going to be tough. But speaking of that Kansas City series, Sunday, this coming Sunday, there is a watch party with John Kruk, sponsored by Philly Goat down at the Palladium. Go, if you subscribe to their email newsletter, they've been sending out updates on that. Looking forward to that. We're going to try to go down with the kids. But that is Sunday at the Palladium for the Kansas City Phillies game. And then do some back to school shopping. Get some stickers. We got new water bottles here for our kids. They want some stickers, so we're going to look at Philly Goat, get some of the stickers so they can have it, and then get some shirts and do some back to school shopping. They got everything you need covered, hoodies, hats, shirts, whatever. Go to phillygoat.com. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off of your order. That's phillygoat.com. Promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off. And hopefully I will see you on Sunday. And then be sure to check out my boys over at the Clash and Conferences, gearing up for their football season, doing a great job with their baseball stuff. So that's available wherever you get your podcasts as well as on YouTube. Council Rock, Newtown rolls on. They're staying alive. 12-2 10-run rule win over the Washington team yesterday. And game that had multiple weather delays, but his kids came out, fired up, ready to play. They will now play on Tuesday against the loser of the Nevada-California game. And basically it'll be a do-or-die situation for both of those teams again as they try to make their way through the consolation bracket to the Little League World Series Championship. But good job by those guys. Enjoy your day off today. You certainly earned it. And we'll see you tomorrow at 3. Sixers with... I like this signing. I like this signing a lot. Gershon Yabusele from France, and he was an Olympic star for them. Other than Wembanyama, probably the second best player on the French team. I like it because it gives him good depth, or gives the Sixers good depth at power forward. He's been playing in Europe. He's a former first-round pick of the Celtics, and basically had to leave the NBA for a combination of being overweight and not having a reliable shot, but he was able to go over to Europe and really work on both. Lost some weight, and it really showed that he does have some athleticism, and that has worked on his three-point shooting, where he was over 40% in his 3 seasons as Europe. And I did see that he was like 45 or something percent, 46% last season. So again, I like this. He fills out the roster now. They have 15 spots. Daryl Morey made it clear he's only going to fill up 14. I guess to have some flexibility once the season starts. But I do. I like this signing a lot for the Sixers. And really, like, I think where they're at, I like this team going into this season. But signing Yabusele, I like it because he's younger. And he's able to, younger than most of the guys on the roster, I should say. But he's able to kind of fill that need. And really, you can tell he's going to work hard because of getting into shape, working on that shot. And I think it's a good fit for this team, and I'm excited to definitely add some depth there to the Sixers. But let me know your thoughts. 267-495-8531. That's a Back to the Future voice and text line. Would you have rather seen somebody like Marcus Morris? I don't know. I like it. This dude parlayed a good Olympic tournament into a contract. Good for him. And like I said, I think it's a good fit. And he should get some time with the Sixers as well. All right. Not a lot out of Eagles camp yesterday. The defense looked good. However, Mekhi Becton left with a leg injury. All reports seem to indicate it's not serious, but with somebody with his injury history and the fact that Tyler Steen, his primary competition for that right guard spot, is also hurt, I'm starting to get a little nervous about this offensive line. But hopefully we get some more clarity, and some more updates today. But man, not a good situation there for the Eagles. But Cooper DeJean practiced again, so he's starting to ramp up his stuff. I doubt we'll see him on Saturday, but things are looking good on that front. But I am concerned with the offensive line. All right, today we're going to do another Phillies doubleheader because today, August 19th, this was a big day for the Phillies golden era from 2007 to 2011. And a lot, basically today, it's the bookends, really, of that era. And We'll start first in 2006, and then after they kind of did that fire sale where they got rid of Bobby Abreu, Corey Lytle, Phillies kind of got hot with those young guys playing, found themselves 2.5 games out of the wild card, and Pat Gillick said, we'll be buyers and sellers. Worked out a trade with the Seattle Mariners for Jamie Moyer. Jamie Moyer was 3 years removed from being an all-star 20-game winner. He was already 43, excuse me, which I didn't realize he was already that old when the Phillies got him. Maybe I did and just kind of blocked it out. But he was already 43 and was hopefully going to be able to provide them a spark down the stretch to get into the wild card, provide some leadership for for the young pitching staff. This was Cole Hamels was really coming into his own as a rookie. Brett Myers. So they had some young guys on this staff. And Jamie Moyer was going to be able to provide that pedigree as well as the veteran leadership. Nobody was sure if he was going to come back. There was a club option the following season. Well, we all know how it worked out. Ended up spending 5 years here from 2006 to 2010. 4 division titles, that World Series run. Ended up going 56-40 with a 4.55 ERA. The hometown Souderton high school graduate. 439 strikeouts, and I will go as far as saying they do not win the World Series without Jamie Moyer. Yes, he struggled late in the season those years and all of that, but I think what he provided during the regular season, getting them to the division titles, I think they don't win without him. So on this day in 2006, kind of one of those, maybe not the final piece, but and I wouldn't go maybe say a cornerstone, but one of those good foundational beams of that 2008 World Series championship team. Jamie Moyer was acquired from the Seattle Mariners on this day in 2006. Hopes were high. Everything was looking good. Everybody was feeling good about this team. Fast forward now 9 years, and on this day in 2015, sort of all of the feel-good vibes were gone, and kind of the writing was on the wall at this point. Chase Utley was traded to the Los Angeles Dodgers after 13 years in Philly. And Chase, 282 career hitter with the Phillies, 346 doubles, 259 homers. He was a 6-time All-Star, 4-time Silver Slugger. Obviously, he was a fan favorite. But Chase leaving sort of was the final clue, I guess you could say, or the writing was on the wall that it was over. This team was in full rebuild mode. And truthfully, at that point in 2015, they probably waited a little too long to trade Chase, but they had already traded Cole Hamels, and Carlos Ruiz was soon to be traded the following year. Ryan Howard finished out the following year, and that was pretty much the extent then. So two very similar trades, different outcomes, different feelings. In 2006, Jamie Moyer was traded from the Seattle Mariners to the Phillies and really provided the spark for the Phillies during those couple years where they were winning divisions and winning the World Series. And then kind of the end of the era happened in 2015 when the Phillies traded Chase Utley to the Dodgers, symbolizing, like I said, that the dream, as I like to say, was over. And the bookends, I guess, of that era both happened, ironically enough, on August 19th. 2006 is when we traded for Jamie Moyer, and 2015 is when we traded Chase Utley. But man, those were some fun times. Okay, finally today, our 20 questions in 20 days about the Eagles. Let's go back and recap yesterday's question, and I asked, who do you think the third receiver was going to be? And 40% of you agree with me, and you think that the third receiver is not yet on this roster. I tend to agree. There's a lot of names out there. Somebody's going to get cut. Maybe they trade for somebody. I don't know, but I don't think we know who this guy is yet. Stay tuned for that, and thank you, as always, for participating in the question of the day. Today's question is... I don't even know what the question is. James Bradberry. I mean, that is the question. And I think coming into this season, the question was, is he going to show up for camp? Is he even going to be on this team? Well, James Bradberry is here. James has been working in its safety Vic Fangio says he's doing a good job. He has got football. His football IQ is really helping him with this transition. What I'm seeing on the field, though, is not somebody who's doing well as a backup safety. And truthfully, the whole James Bradberry thing stems back to the Super Bowl, getting burnt, the holding call. And then last year, obviously, he's lost a step. And I mean, this is in no... It happens. It happens all the time in the NFL. James Bradberry has lost a step. But is he going to make the team? I mean, and it does look like he's going to make the team as the backup safety. I don't know. I would say let's look and see who else is available. But again, there's not really much out there. And since Sidney Brown is coming back from that torn ACL and likely won't be back until midway through the season, and then when he does come back, how long is it going to take him to be ready? Will he be ready? I think we're stuck with James Bradberry as our backup safety. Now, as long as everybody stays healthy, maybe this isn't an issue. Very similar to the third receiver, but I'm not comfortable. I want some of that insurance. And kind of it's growing on me, and this is not a nostalgia thing. When Jalen Mills was released last week, he's moved to safety. Could he kind of slide in and be the backup safety? I don't know. It's like I said, I don't want to get caught up in the nostalgia with that. Micah Hyde is still available. He's a little bit older, can provide some veteran leadership. However, I did read a couple different places that he's kind of holding out to go back to Buffalo and might retire if he doesn't sign with Buffalo. I don't think there's many other people out there, though. That's kind of the issue. I do expect Howie to be active and really look to see what's out there. But I think James Bradberry, we might be stuck with him. And I don't know. Avonte Maddox got the start in the preseason game at the other safety spot alongside Bradberry. But are you comfortable? I don't think any of us are. So I guess the question then is, should James Bradberry make the Eagles as the backup safety? 267-495-8531. That'll get you in. You can also hit me up on the social media. I'm not comfortable with this at all. Like I think I'm more uncomfortable with this than I am the third receiver. And maybe it's just my recency bias with James Bradberry, but I'm not comfortable with this. But the question of the day, should James Bradberry make this Eagles team as the backup safety? Get in on the Back to the Future voice and text line, 267-495-8531. Let me know your thoughts. I mean, and then you got the injuries on the offensive line. I'm not sure. But I think of all of the position battles, I mean, we have a plethora of cornerbacks. Maybe Howie can swing a trade. I don't know, but I'm not comfortable with it. But do you think James Bradberry makes the team? And unfortunately, likely, you don't have anybody better right now. So as of right now, I think the answer has to be yes. But I'm not comfortable with it. So let me know your thoughts on that. 267-495-8531. That'll get you in, and we will continue our 20 questions in 20 days tomorrow. On this day in 2006, Phillies acquired Jamie Moyer, and then sort of the opposite end of the spectrum in 2015 on this day, they traded Chase Utley to the Dodgers, symbolizing the end of that era. Jimmy Rollins was already gone. I believe Shane Victorino was already gone. Cole Hamels was already gone. So it just sort of was just like the fan favorite, kind of everybody's favorite on that team, Chase. He was gone now, and it was over. And it was a couple of dark years until we were able to get to where we are with this current team. But that all happened on August 19th, 2006 and 2015. Let me know your thoughts on the Sixers signing of Yabusele. Any predictions for the Phillies Braves? I got to say, I'm a little nervous. This is, I think, the biggest series, and I don't even think that's hyperbole. I think this is the biggest series of the season to this point. Let me know your thoughts on that. Good luck to the Council Rock Newtown Little League team. Enjoy your day off, guys. You certainly earned it. This has been This Day in Philly Sports History for August 19th, 2024. My name is Jim Montgomery. Go have yourselves a Monday, And until next time, I'll see you when I see you.